And we're live. Okay, folks.
Yay.
So, Nico, we will bring you in very soon. Okay. So, last time, you guys made your way to the town of Arkney. You traveled through mountains. You searched the tent of the bandits who had ambushed you in the frozen mountain pass, finding a letter from one thief king to another. It was signed Misty the Rat, and is available in the handouts. You had a somewhat difficult time making the rest of the trek, but managed it more or less safely. On the approach to Arkney, you passed various interesting things like the signpost that showed where things were in different directions. Nico, could I ask you to put on push to talk? Because every time you shift in your chair, it's coming through the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man.
Glad to do that.
Where was I? And on the approach to Arkney, you came upon a watchtower, and a bunch of the garrison, or guards of Arkney, called the Arkan Guard. And they had a big bonfire going that smelled of charred meat. And within, they were burning the bodies of almost a dozen orcs, whom they said had somewhat unusually tried to approach the town and had been asking about a merchant. It's also worth mentioning that at the signpost, Bref, your intrepid barbarian, decided to join Equitus, and reached out and touched the strange pulsating sigil of magic that was attached to the signpost. It slid onto his palm, and he deliberately failed his wisdom saving throw to prevent it from doing so. And it's now come under the same compulsion that Equitus has been suffering with. Let's see. We had a lengthy description of Arkney, which, if you guys would indulge me a little bit, I'd like to reread it just so that we're all on the same page. Is that all right?
Sure.
Arkney lies on the southeast shore of a large lake, where tall-masted ships and boats come and go from the expansive port. The first impression of the town is of one in transition, more than a simple farming and fishing village, yet not quite a large port city. The place immediately evokes an air of enterprise and moderate wealth. The folk you pass on the roads this evening are a little better dressed, a little cleaner, and also a little more wary than you're used to. The buildings form a dichotomy as well, either old and dilapidated, or of new construction, less masterful perhaps, but clearly seeking to make a statement. It's also worth noting that everyone you meet on the outskirts of Arkney fits pretty neatly into a particular social strata in their appearance. The farmers look like farmers. The guards look like guards. The well-to-do are better dressed and travel in finer carriages than the simple carts of the traveling peddlars. As you get nearer the city, you spot a couple of magical plows, needing no horse or oxen team, but clearing dead brush from the winter and any remaining snow that hasn't melted down in this lower land out of the mountains, under the careful eye of the more successful farmers. And you guys are now in downtown Arkney. This is the area of the city where pretty much everything interesting is going to be happening. There's a little bit more of the town, but it's mostly small cottages dotting the landscape, and then there's a wooden palisade wall and several Arkengard stations beyond that. But this is downtown. This is where the densest population is. And you guys come up to the city, or rather, to downtown, and I knew I was going to mess it up and say city. And you are kind of making your way along these pretty well-maintained packed dirt roads with ditches cut into the sides to drain rainwater. And you have now arrived. You're making your way by the light of mainly lanterns. There's an early moon that's rising. And you're making your way, navigating by this light, and you're seeing really more people than you might expect out and about this evening. People seem to feel safe, relatively. And there are people going by with their ox carts. And there's all different kinds of races. And oh yes, I should mention, the imposing wooden gates in the palisade wall close behind you right after you guys get into the town. These great structures of fresh timber kind of thudding close, ba-boom. And there's this cluster of torches and lanterns all around that shows them to be well guarded. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to ask someone on the side of the road traveling alongside and say, friend, if we were weary travelers looking for somewhere to bed down for the night, where would you recommend?
Okay. Roll a D100 for me.
37.
You, the person you have called out is a gnome woman wearing a broad-brimmed hat. And she kind of tilts the brim up to look up at you, Bref, as you ask her. And she nods her head toward the square, and she says, "Travelers, huh? You'll be wanting the Mellow Eel Tavern or Clayton's Lodge."
Akiri says, "Thank you," and waves at her.
Okay. She seems to kind of notice you for the first time, and and the motley crew of races that you are. There's a pretty good mix of races here, obviously, but you guys have some very unusual folk among your ranks. But she smiles at Akiri's friendly greeting and says, I do recommend the mutton ramen.
Equitas gives her a big, wide-toothed smile and says, "Thank you very much."
She nods.
Where did we enter from on this map? Where are we?
You guys
entering
have
from?
entered. That is an excellent point. See, I actually made a note for myself to remind you to say this, but I forgot. Thank you. You are coming from this road. So you'll notice the compass north is down. So
Okay.
this map, with regards to the orientation of most of our maps, is upside down. Is flipped.
I got you.
Because the lake is to the north.
Yeah, I was wondering when you said that it was on the south side of a lake. So
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are right now passing the Rope and Open General Store, which has a loop of coiled rope hanging outside in place of a sign.
Well, let's keep pressing on, see if we can find one of those two places.
I agree. I am exhausted, and yeah, we should find the closest place just to bunk down for the evening. I think.
Okay. Aquitus, you're exhausted and you feel your plodding steps needing to take you toward rest before you can do anything. Bref, it's been a long day as well, but you still feel that tug. You feel this... Oh no, Haley! Did we lose you? You still feel that tug in the palm of your hand. Your whole arm feels it, kind of pulling you, impelling you forward. You have this need to do something, to commit a violent act against someone.
Is it so strong that I'm unable to... I mean, not that Bref would know where the Mellow Eel Tavern is, but Jeremy does. And so am I able to keep going down this main road we're on and find myself in the center of town, or...
Absolutely.
Okay.
So all of you can do that, and you feel it. It's you need rest, and you're going to need to start making, you the player would interpret this as you would need to start making Constitution saving throws if you were going to try to do anything else tonight. Okay.
All right.
I found Clayton's Lodge, but I don't see. This is just Paul, the player.
Oh, okay.
The Mellow
that's
Eel
fine.
is on the northern.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found it. Thank you.
So yes, the Mellow Eel Tavern and Clayton's Lodge are here and here.
Which
You
one
guys
do we
make
think?
yourselves... go ahead.
Well, if you have something more important to say, I was just going to say, which one do we think would be closest to get to? Probably the Mellow Eel Tavern.
I mean, they're both quite close.
Sure.
Krim says the tavern is probably cheaper, although it was wasn't really clear from what the gnome woman with the broad-brimmed hat said.
I've never stayed in any place with eel-themed entertainment, but I'm certainly down to try.
Sure, man. That sounds great.
Bella has a good point. I say we should go there.
Okay. You guys make your way to the Mellow Eel Tavern. It's a kind of wide, sprawling, plaster-covered building. And it is actually quite well built. One of the newer constructions, you would guess. And it's got a thatched roof, and there's kind of this very noticeable eel theme of architecture on the outside. In fact, there's this pretty spectacular lantern that's worth mentioning right over the archway that of the doors that lead into the tavern main room, and it's this very large ironwork and maybe some kind of wax treated paper lantern with this curling eel or set of them kind of wrapping its way around this very large lantern. And making your way, you have to kind of, you walk around, there's like this boardwalk that encircles this sort of central town square. And as you're going along that, the first things that really strike you here in Arkney are two buildings. The governor's mansion, which is kind of, we're looking at it top down on the map, but it's actually quite tall. It has a kind of a tower. It's almost like a stone tower. It actually has like a gate. It's like a stone keep with like a wooden mansion built around it. And that's also like reinforced and probably recently built, or a recent addition to an older building. And then there's this kind of gatehouse construction. So it's quite well fortified and quite imposing. And it towers above the nearby buildings, including the tavern that you're making your way toward. The other thing, of course, that catches your attention is the library. The Library of Ibukruger rises above the kind of black expanse of the lake, where you can see off in the distance little lights flickering from various boats and ships plying their trade across the way. It's also worth noting the library, which you can kind of see has this crazy outline. You can't really get a good look at it, although it has this crazy outline and silhouette, and it's actually much larger than the governor's mansion. Easily the same height, and just bigger overall. And it's got all of these jutting parts and these kind of... it almost looks like if the building grew organically in places. And some of it looks like it has no support and is just floating. So it's an enormous, very noticeable and arresting building. Okay. As you guys are making your way around the boardwalk and entering into the tavern, you do pass by a couple of people chatting. They're fairly well dressed, and kind of glancing up at the mansion as you pass by. And saying, one of them is saying to the other, a good triumph evening to you, friend. I think, I wonder what the Lord Governor's daughter is up to this night. And he kind of elbows the other guy. Looks like he's been drinking a little bit early. But they kind of allow your large troop to pass by.
I'll sort of give him a nod.
Okay.
You know, a friendly nod as we pass by.
Absolutely. They give you an odd look, but they nod politely. Really all of you are getting an odd look. Then you immediately begin to feel that you are dirtier and dressed quite differently from most of the folk around here. You guys are mostly wearing like explorer's clothes or things that you've been using to adventure. Most of these people have, like clean clothes. Probably more than one set of clothes even. So you feel that you're standing out, not just because of an unusual mix of races, but even more so because you're covered in the dust and grime and dried blood of your travels here. All right.
Guys, you know what we need? We need a bathhouse.
What now?
I wouldn't 100% necessarily assume, Akiri, that what you mean by that is what everybody in a town like this means by that.
Maybe. I think we should find a place to just kind of chill out, maybe talk, then sleep, and then maybe if we want to see how clean we are from there, go from there.
Well, I think that the tavern is probably a good bet, but we can put it to a vote. Everybody in favor of fish-themed entertainment, raise their hand, and everyone in favor of Clayton-themed entertainment, pump your fist.
I really want to see what
These
fish.
sound promising.
Yeah, I really want to see this fish entertainment. I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah, I want to eat an eel, or whatever I'm supposed to do with an eel in this town.
Trust me, there are many things you can do with an eel.
Literally, whatever anyone asks me to do with an eel in this town, I will do.
You guys push your way through and into the tavern. Inside, there's it's fairly crowded. There's a gaggle of people chatting. Some of them are wearing armor. Others, others simple farming clothes. Still others kind of finer artisans wear, perhaps. It seems like this is a location where a lot of people of different kind of different kind of social stratic rub elbows. And there's food and drink is flowing. And there's a man behind the bar who immediately greets you as you guys come in, waves you on in. And he waves you with a fan because he is fanning himself. Despite the cold winter evening, there's a big fire crackling here in the mellow eel. And he is fanning himself, and he carries like a perfect gentleman. He carries himself, straight backed. He's a half elf, and he waves you guys in, and he says, come in, welcome, travelers. What can we be getting for you this fine evening? I am Drogo Evans. I am the owner and proprietor of the Mellow Eel. And he gestures kind of toward the ceiling. Looking up, you realize there's this enormous glass aquarium. There's this glass tank, and inside are all of these eels. And it's kind of like raised up, so you can actually see part of the underside. There's like a wooden, it's like a central kind of like divider. It is of the place. That, kind of separates part of the tavern from another part. And as you're watching, there's one of the servers who is a kind of almost ridiculously buxom woman in a very traditional barmaid's outfit. Complete with leather corset, who is using these very long kind of metal tongs. She seems to be quite an expert, grabbing an eel from out of the tank while one of the customers is like cheering her on. And
hot.
she pulls.
That's definitely hot.
She pulls the eel out of the tank, and and there's like a kind of a. Kind of a small cheer goes on, like, yeah! As she carries the eel over to the kitchens, still wriggling, to be cooked. But you are...
This place is frickin' awesome.
You are... You are speaking to Drogo Evans.
Drogo, what's good here?
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess the eels.
He says, he looks at you and he flutters his fan. And he says, the horny man is right. Sorry, bad joke. Absolutely. The eels are a specialty. But please, make yourselves at home. There are many places you can sit, whether by the fire to take off that wintry chill. Thank you very much, Zaphant, for subscribing with Twitch Prime. You are awesome. Hang on, I have to fix something in my notes. Just went wrong. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. He says, make yourselves at home, whether by the fire to take off the winter chill, or perhaps by one of our many tables where you can watch the entertainment. There's also some. There's a couple of. There's a pair of halflings who are playing music by the door. Most people aren't really paying attention, being involved in the important business of drinking and eating. But they're having a good time playing their flutes and occasionally drumming over by the door. He says, "Our specials tonight," fluttering his fan, and he kind of looks over the fan at like his notes behind the bar. He says, "Our specials tonight include meatball stew and a tankard of ale for just 4 silver pieces, mutton ramen with bread and a tankard of beer for 5 silver pieces, and cheese stew with crowberry tart and a glass of brandy for just 1 gold piece."
But no eel.
He says, "Eel. Well, we have a number of ways we prepare the eel." And he rattles off a few. I'm not going to necessarily go into it, but he says, he's like, stuffed, in a bun with polka dots, whatever.
Fried eel.
Fried eel.
Scampi.
Exactly. He says,
Red eel and rice.
fried eel and noodles. The marvelous and always popular, eye melter eel, which comes with a special blend, spiced with a special blend that I prepare myself, designed to melt your eyeballs out of your head.
Maybe I'll just stick with the meatball stew. I like my eyes where they are.
He says, meatball stew for this gentleman, absolutely. Just go ahead and find yourselves, you're probably going to need a couple of tables, and please, kick back and make yourselves at home. Wherever you hail from, the Mellow Eel welcomes you.
We're also going to need a few rooms. I don't know if we take care of that with you or someone else.
He says there are currently 2 rooms available.
That should be perfect.
We do have premium. Rooms, living next to the Lord Governor's mansion. It is our honor to do so. Those will be 5 gold pieces a night.
And those are the 2 rooms you have available?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right on the end, perfectly suited to a large group like yourselves, with multiple areas we can put in beds.
All right. Well, we'll probably be taking those, but for now, we'll go and get ourselves set up at a table. And I look for the biggest table.
You find the biggest table, which is a long row of them. There's a couple of down at the end. There's a couple of women talking, and they kind of like give you guys unusual kind of a look as you approach and kind of set down your stuff. They're eyeing you and your many weapons with kind of raised eyebrows. You're not the only ones who carry weapons around here, but you are kind of a large group.
Um, when we walked in, did there seem to be like a weapons check area?
Actually, yes. Kind of just inside, still by the light of the large lantern, you can see just inside the door, there's kind of a closet with some of that same eel-themed ironwork, kind of these like racks where you can just set your weapon up on some hooks, and you can see several swords and a couple of bows hung on the hooks already. There's also, with your heavy packs, you guys are going to probably carry those to the table with you. But you can set those down as well.
Yeah, I think Bref, seeing that at the entrance, probably would have hung up Chock-a-Block.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, Equitus would have also put his dagger and sickle up there.
Okay. There is a boy who's kind of sits on a stool. There's actually a 3-legged stool that he's sitting on, and he kind of watches the weapons. And he's kind of tossing like some copper pieces in one hand as you guys set your weapons up on the hooks. Clink, clink.
I dropped him a silver.
Yeah, I do as well.
He looks down at the 2 silvers with his eyebrows raised. Which ones are your weapons, sirs?
This hammer here.
And this
Hammer.
dagger and this sickle.
Dagger, sickle. Right. He pulls like an oily, dirty cloth out of one pocket and like starts polishing your weapons. And
Nice.
and he kind of like counts down. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th one down. Okay. Hammer, sickle, dagger. Have yourselves a good evening, sirs.
You too, young one.
Yeah, you as well.
Thanks. I like the cranberry whisker sugar whiskey.
How old are you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, mister.
7. And you like the cranberry sugar whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
With extra sugar.
I bet. Okay.
Just
Well,
like
so-
England.
Mr. Evans makes it special for me.
All right. Well, we'll talk to him about maybe getting some. We'll see what's going on with that.
He nods. Of course, mister. Of course. And your weapons will be here when you get back, and shinier too. And he rubs a little more greasy cloth on your weapons on the rack.
I guess I'm going to go back to our table, which I assume is where the rest of the group is.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Okay. As you guys are doing so, there's a bit of a commotion. As someone, I mentioned, like, it's kind of a wide, low building, but there is, like, an upper floor. And kind of over the tank, there's a chandelier. And somebody, you hear this kind of yell, and it kind of like mixes with the general kind of slight craziness of the place. But somebody gives a yell, and you hear a loud slap of somebody getting slapped in the face. And this figure goes running out of one of the bedrooms upstairs and like jumps down out of the balcony. At the same moment, a kind of red and black, kind of hunched, but very quick and dexterous figure jumps off of the balcony as this kind of man with a goatee is running down the stairs. This figure jumps off the balcony, grabs onto the chandelier, and swings on it. Drogo Evans looks up and he's like, "Oi! Stop that!" But this figure kind of swings on the chandelier and goes flying, hurtling down, crashing into the man with the goatee, right, kind of just narrowly missing by inches the edge of the eel tank, and just crashes into him and knocks him to the ground. And this woman up on the top is like, "You get out of here and you stay out." And Yar, this figure steps up from kind of holding this kicking and fighting guy with a goatee, expertly kind of pinning his arm behind his back, and says, "Better to get this one to the Arkangard," or whatever you'd like to say, Nico, as you are now in. This guy is a turtle man. He is a Tortle. And I think we have some art.
Yeah, can I share that?
Please. Have you put it into your character sheet?
I have not, but I can send it in the chat. Because so give me a second.
I'll show it in a second.
I can also throw it in chat if you need me to.
Is the one that you sent me still current?
Yeah, that's the official.
Okay, well, it's on stream anyhow.
This is Emmy made this, and I love it so much.
That is a joy.
That's awesome, dude. I love it.
So,
I love it so much. Emmy, this.
Very fortunately, you see a couple of members of the Arkangard just outside the door.
Oh, hey, laddies. I've got a new one for you. And you guys just hear clunk, clunk, clunk as he, like, walks over to the guard and just, like, holds him by. What did this guy do that I am so dashingly...
He clearly pissed off a woman upstairs.
Oh. I overheard this here landlubber giving one of the ladies upstairs a bit of a trouble. You I reckon you got a night in the jail or wherever it is you take these people. We'll sober him up a bit. And he kind of throws him over to him.
The two kind of hefty guys in scale armor and chain kind of grab the guy in the goatee, who is stinking drunk, and kind of drag him off. And they're like, "Thanks, sir. Please keep it calm around here."
Of course, I wouldn't dream of causing a disturbance.
Meanwhile, the light is all moving around crazily because the chandelier is still swinging back and forth from where he grabbed it and swung on it.
I look
Let
over.
that teach you to show ladies some respect.
I look over at Yar and kind of nod and say, "Yeah, that's pretty slick moves there."
Aye, thank you, laddie. I appreciate that. It's not often I get to swing off a chandelier. It's That's another one off the bucket list.
Sit down, have a drink with us.
I'd be glad to. He plops over. He hobbles over to y'all's table and takes this. It's sitting is kind of a complicated thing for Yar, given his body, but he figures it out.
Well, they do have benches as opposed to chairs with backs, so that'd probably be easier for him to with his shell.
Yeah, that's where he would scoot.
Bella said that she grabbed the largest table, which would definitely be kind of a long trestle table toward one side of the large main room, and there are benches. There are benches instead of chairs there, so that'd probably be easiest for Yar.
Okay, cool. Also, okay, just real quick, I have to plug this because this is super important. Literally, I gave Emmy a picture of a snapping turtle that I thought looked really cool, and gave her some bare details, and she made this masterpiece. So, just say.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's really, really, really good.
Yar notices that there's that y'all are quite a diverse group of people, and he goes, and who might ye be?
And we kind of look over at each other. I know I'm kind of looking at everybody. I don't know that we have a name.
We're adventurers.
Have you ever met Stray and her traveling menagerie?
Can you say that again? I didn't quite catch that. My volume was too low.
Stray and her traveling menagerie.
I can't say that I have, but is that the name of your group then?
No, but we've done some beast hunting for her.
No, but honestly, it almost works.
Kind of. We are sort of a traveling menagerie. Yeah, we kind of hunt for beasts for her little traveling zoo. It puts coin in our pocket.
Beast hunters and adventurers. I can't think of a better group of people to have a drink with. I guess you would also order a drink at this point.
All right. You call one of the servers over. Is Yar calling a man or a woman over? There's two servers running around. One's a man and one's a woman.
Aye, laddie. Could I have a pint of... Shoot, I don't know drinks at all. Like, what should I get? Ale?
Well, don't worry. He's going to rattle off some for you.
Okay.
The guy is a gnome with patchy brown stubble, and he's got these kind of dark spectacles and heavy clothing. Although it's a lot warmer in here than it is outside. He's kind of like wearing a jacket over his waiter's uniform. Probably not, probably not approved, but that's the way he rolls. And he kind of walks up, he bobs his head.
Rebel.
He says, "Alvin Dunban at your service, sir." And he says, if you're looking for a drink, we've got Flaming Bull. We've got Hazelnut Amigo Ale. We've got Mountain Jam Ale. We've got Wasabi Tea, which is a personal favorite. We've got Brown Paradise Ale. We've got Molten Duke Brandy. We have Hazelnut Hard Cider. We've got Sally's Secret Wine. We have Salty Crystal. And if you're feeling a mighty powerful thirst, we've got a steamy double.
Hoy, them's a lot of choices. I think I'll go with the hazelnut amigo. Everything. Hey, that sounds like friendship. I'll drink to friendship.
Okay.
Kiri's,
Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kiri's gonna lean forward and say, do you have anything that's like non-alcoholic? Because I don't like that kind of thing.
He
There's
says.
some wasabi tea.
He says, yes, the wasabi tea is slightly spiked, but we can leave that out.
Sure, I'll try that. I'd like to
Alright.
note she has no idea what wasabi is, so this
He
is gonna
kind
be
of
fun.
he scribbles on a paper. He says, "Where's the paper?" He's like, "All right, one wasabi tea, not spiked for the beautiful bird lady. One. What did you ask for? Hazelnut Amigo Ale for the mighty Turtle Man, who got rid of that drunk for us. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Well, what comes with the meatball stew? Because that's what I ordered.
One water for the
I thought he said it came with a pint of ale.
Golden Dragonborn. The meatball stew does come with a tankard of ale, good sir. That would be some brown paradise.
Perfect.
Wow. I'll just take a glass of water, please.
And I'll try Sally's secret wine.
I'll take Mountain Jam Ale.
Mountain Jam Ale for you. All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. He's scribbling this all down.
I love that Allman Brothers song.
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any other food? We do have 3 special combinations, of course, this evening, but we have eel prepared in all manner of ways. We have various kinds of fish, and of course, we can get you just about anything your heart desires.
Why don't you get us the drinks and let us think about what we want to eat? And get Breff. He's obviously got a mighty hunger. So get Breff his.
Of course.
And then we may order some food in a little while.
Oh, of course. Sally. And he waves the woman over and he says, would you help me with the washing up? And they run off together and very basically go to one side where there are some large bowls. And they come back with this big bowl and like a pitcher for you to wash up. And he's like, please. And so she carries the towel and the pitcher. And so each one of you can kind of wash your hands into the bowl as they kind of go around the table.
It's basically going to be mud by the time we finish.
Probably true.
Exactly.
But he says, I hope you enjoy everything. It'll be out in 2 halves of a jiff, and they leave you be. It does not going to take very long for them to come out with all of these different drinks, each one coming in like a differently shaped glass. Or rather, there's like the ale glass, and then there's a wine glass for Sally's secret wine. The Hazelnut Amigo is an ale that's definitely flavored very strongly with hazelnut, and it's rather sweet. The kind of has a sweet with like kind of overpowering hazelnut flavor in the ale. The Brown Paradise is this very brown, very kind of hoppy ale that definitely wakes up your whole mouth. The Sally's Secret Wine is kind of a sickly sweet wine, kind of like kosher wine, and absolutely succulent. And I don't know what everybody else ordered because, unlike a good waiter, I wasn't writing it all down. But then the wasabi tea that they bring is this big steaming teacup, and it smells very strong as they bring it to you. And it's actually this very nice piece of china with these, floral designs on the teacup.
Akira's gonna take a quick sip. Like a very ginger sip, because I imagine it's piping hot.
You feel like you just got punched in the beak.
Yeah, that's about what I figured would happen.
This is incredibly spicy tea.
How many
just
hit points do I
burns
take
you, and you go. You don't take no damage, but you wake up. It is spicy and caffeinated.
Oh boy!
You all right, lassie?
I think so. Krim, can I have a quick sip of your water, please, 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 please.
Here you go. I'll offer Kiri some of mine.
And she takes a good sip. That's really spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know if Akiri would. I don't know if Akiri would get this, but it's definitely like it tastes really good. But it's designed to wake you the heck up.
Gotcha. She's gonna push it a little away from her. It's just like, I'm gonna leave that there for now. I'll come back to that.
All right. Of course, they also bring the meatball stew, which is this kind of drippingly delicious bowl of brown. Everything that you've ordered, Bref, is brown. This brown stew, brown tankard of ale, brown paradise.
Brown is my favorite flavor. I bet it's Bref's.
And it's quite good, and the stew and the ale pair extremely well together.
You can never go wrong with something that's brown.
Yeah.
Okay, Bref.
Right. Well,
Yar kind of looks at the rest of y'all like, what's up with this guy? Like, y'all are agreeing with him. He's not saying this. He's just kind of like, okay.
so you're an awfully long from the ocean for a clearly seasoned sailor.
Is it that obvious? I just got back from a job on the lake there, actually.
Oh, really? And are you in any particular line of work, or are you just a sailor for hire?
Just like most of my kind, I'm an adventurer by trade. I go where the wind takes me, but usually the wind takes me to the sea. on the sea, or lakes, or whatever gets me on a ship and out for adventure in new places I've never been to before,
And
and to
what
meet new people that I've never met before.
and what brought you to the lake?
I well, I was on a job with a fellow looking for a special sword, who we we were on a quest to locate such sword and liberate it from the clutches of those that had it before. But I'm afraid our venture was not as successful as we would have hoped, and the sword was not to be found.
Is it? How do you know it's not to be found? Is it just did it
I'm
get
sorry.
broken?
All I meant was we didn't find it.
Okay. How close did you get?
That's an interesting question. Since we're not still sure exactly where it is, it's hard to say. It might have been right under our noses, or it's possible we were in the completely wrong place altogether. I'm really not. Well, we couldn't find it. I did find this really cool eyeglass though.
That is a nice eyeglass.
Although I have no idea what I see when I look through it, it always shows me something different.
Huh.
Maybe that's just because you're looking at something different every time.
Lass, I thought something. Oh wait, no, that's not what I mean. I suppose there's no harm. And he pulls out this eyeglass, and he hands it to. I guess since Akira was the last person to speak, he kind of hands it to her, and he's like, "Take a gander, lass, and tell me what you see."
So he pulls out this spyglass that is it telescopes to quite a length, and it is an absolute wonder of construction. This worked metal with these strange designs, these very straight lines, and all of these triangles just interconnected, just making their way on each section of the spyglass is absolutely perfect, and you can actually see where all of the lines can rotate and each section of the spyglass and line up differently and form a completely different set of images. And it actually looks more than a bit like the design on the iron flask that Cordy carries, and the locket that your friend Samson the elf.
The one that I have, the Ebian locket.
Exactly.
Cool.
It's crazy looking, and it's made of brass, and has this sort of greenish tint that enhances and just looks incredible as Yar hands it over.
Akira is appreciating it immediately, and she goes, "Oh wow, this is really cool." And then she looks through it.
It's beautiful.
Okay. She looks through the spyglass. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Just a d20?
I think so. It's either a d20 or a d100. Hang on. I wasn't necessarily expecting this to come up right this second. Hang on.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Stand by. Okay. You got a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Akiri, make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, at least I'm a cleric. Yeah, she's fine.
Akiri, what you witness through the glass of the spyglass is a world of fire and ice. A scene like a cave, with twisted shapes of fire and ice mixing together, melting, and faces. Horrifying faces, twisting and curling over one another, almost like they're eating each other. And it's this immediate, revolting and horrific sight. And you have this incredible sense of depth, of space. You look through it, closing one eye, and you feel vertigo as this swirling pool of writhing fire and ice, like creatures in pain, seems to fall deeper, and you feel like you're falling deeper and deeper and deeper into this endless pit of utter despair and horror.
She's gonna pull it away from her face real quick and go, "Guys, that was terrifying." And then
What
she's
did
gonna
you see,
flip around
Lassie?
and look through the wrong side.
Oh, I want to look.
Where are you pointing the spyglass?
Probably at Yar.
You see a really tiny Yar, like super far away.
So, hi! And then take it off and hand it to Cordy, because that's who she said she'd handed it to. Hey, Cordy, what's this taste like?
Is it okay if I examine it?
Aye. Go right ahead, but Lassie, I'm sorry, I did not catch your name. The bird, I apologize, I don't know how else to describe you.
Oh, my name's Akiri, but you can call me Curls,
Aye,
because
I like
usually
that
that's
name.
easier.
Yar, she has these strangely curled feathers. It's quite pretty. And you've heard the term frilled to describe this from a friend of yours.
Aye, what did you see when you looked through my spyglass?
It was terrible. It was like, and she like kind of shakes herself and floofs up a little bit. It was like, I don't know, elementals, but they were like fire and ice somehow, like fighting and dying. I don't know. I don't know. It was weird.
I've seen that one before. Before too. I was, be honest, I was trembling in Michelle for the rest of the day after seeing that one.
Yeah, that was weird.
Looking over the spyglass, she said that there was markings on it similar to the bottle I have.
That's right.
I'd like to lick the markings.
You'd like to lick them.
Yes. Gotta stay on brand. Does it taste like Ebb to me? The other Ebbs we've encountered?
It tastes like brass and moss.
Interesting. Do I recognize the type of moth?
You would guess it comes from around the lake. Deep Lurk Lake, where you guys have arrived.
It seems to be local moss. And I hand it to Bella. That's all I say.
Right, well, that explains it. And I'm gonna look through the spyglass.
Roll a d20.
Ten.
To you, this room looks quite different from what Akiri described. You see, It almost looks like you are sitting on an enormous metal gear. And you can see other metal gears stretching away into the infinite gray distance. Each one clicking together. And they're huge, these gears. You can see them stretching away. And this whole room almost, you don't see the walls. You instead see the edges of this enormous gear kind of ticking away. And on some of these gears, you can see other buildings that stretch away. And they are all like facing different directions. Almost like everything is just like fitting together in this enormous clockwork construction. It's quite, it's peaceful, but it's a strange sight. You also see like some figures way off in the distance, and it kind of jumping from one gear to the next, and kind of reorienting themselves at the new, like with a new gravity.
Okay, interesting. All right. I say, well, that isn't anything like what I saw. Does someone else want to take a look and tell me what they see?
Yeah, I'll look.
As far as I can tell, there's no rhyme or reason as to why certain people see certain things, but it's always different each time you look.
Why don't you try looking through it again, Bella?
Yeah, I will try looking through it again.
You lift up to your eye, and you again see the gears.
I say, no, I see the same thing. But you take it, Aquitus, and then if you don't mind, give it back to me, and we'll see if I still see the same thing.
Okay, you can do that. And I take it and I look through it.
Roll a d20.
The right way. $13.
Okay. You see, what do you see? You see something pretty crazy and marvelous. To you, this room isn't here. And instead, there's this vast distance of trees stretching away from you, with this incredible greenery and canopy, and you can actually see these glowing areas through the trees, like something glimmering off in the distance. But turning the spyglass up, there's no roof of the tavern, and there's also no sky. Have you seen how in Inception, when they bend the city over itself? That's kind of what it looks like. Except instead of it like being the ground bent over, there's another land in the sky. And off in the misty distance, you can see tall mountains that seem to stretch up and actually meet other mountains, forming a sort of column between the ground land and the sky land. And in the sky, you can see, it looks like that land is having a storm. There are clouds swirling and rain falling up, and lightning flashes. And, it's absolutely weird and wild to look at through the spyglass.
Oh, take it off, and I say, well, and I think describe what I saw and how strange it was, and disorienting, and that it was different. And I hand it back to Bella.
All right, I'm going to look through it again.
You see that infinite gray expanse of gears with cities on them, ticking together.
That's interesting. But
Maybe it resets for you once a day or something?
Oh, maybe. All right, well, can I make a knowledge check with the 3 descriptions that we've gotten to see if I see some kind of connection between all?
Certainly. Make an intelligence check. Hey, Rybane, welcome. The party is examining a wondrous spyglass that their newfound friend Yar has allowed them to look at.
That's an 18.
Yar the Tortle. An 18 intelligence. Well, Bella, from the extensive reading you've done on the matter, you can tell that these are different planes of existence. You would surmise that from the terrible fear evoked when Akiri looked through it, that she saw into the abyss. Also from her description, she saw some layer of the abyss. You would guess that when you're looking through it, you are seeing into the plane of Mechanus. And you would guess from... Did Equitus describe his...
He did.
I did, yeah.
You would guess that he is seeing into the plane of Bitopia.
Bitopia. Now, what is that?
Sounds like
Well, I
my
should learn.
plane.
Make a knowledge check for that.
Okay, is that still just an intelligence check, or can I, add something?
I would allow you... Sure, you could do history or religion.
Oh,
That's
no ski.
7.
Unfortunately, Bitopia, although you've read the name and you know about the land above and the land below, it sounds as strange to Bella as it does to Kirsten.
Somehow the bard doesn't have any idea what Bitopia is.
But Bella, I thought that's where you were from.
I get that a lot. All right, well, I communicate this to Yar, and I say, I think you have quite an incredible magical item here. It's allowing you to see into other planes of existence. I don't know what exactly it's showing you, or if it's really showing you that, or if it's just showing you an illusion of that, but that appears to be what this is.
Aye, that would make sense. Now, something I've noticed about this bubble is that even if you see the same place more than once, you don't always see the same part of that place, if that makes sense. On top of that, even if you're looking through the, even if I were to sit here and look through the spyglass here, it would look in the place I saw now. If I saw the same place another time, it would be from a different perspective, even if I were still sitting on this bench. So it seems to be inconsistent about the position of where your point of view in the, as you say, in the planes is. But anyway, I don't know anything else about it other than I took it from the skeletal hand of a undead pirate that I slew.
Well, that's quite a story. Well, I mean, I'm no expert on the planes, and you might want to see if maybe you could find some more information about it. But from what I understand, sometimes the planes kind of overlap each other. So depending on which plane you're on, you might be in the same place, but not on the same plane, if that makes sense. So if you're seeing different parts of it, then, maybe you're seeing the part of the plane of whatever that is overlapping wherever you are on our plane. I'm not explaining it very well, but like I said, I'm not really an expert. I've just done some reading.
Well, I appreciate all of you indulging me with this here trinket. You lassie, and he's pointing to you, Cordy. I mean, he wouldn't know what to call you yet, and but you seemed to recognize the symbols on the side. Do you know what they mean or where they come from?
We knew a guy who knew about that at one point, but, well, dang it, where's Samson when you need him?
I mean, we know exactly where he is.
Yeah. But still.
Yara was speaking to Cordy.
I know Akiri totally butted in.
Okay.
Is Cordy on?
I was having some issues. I cut out a little bit. Someone was talking to me, I think.
Sorry, Yara was just asking, because he noticed that you seemed to pay particular attention to the symbols, if you knew what they meant or recognized.
The only thing I'm aware of is that when I tasted the first symbol, it tasted like irony, I think. And then this one had more of like a brassy, mossy taste. I'm not really sure what that means. I think it's associated with Ebb, which is an empire, but I don't have too much more information other than that. I mainly am trying to decipher if they all taste similar or not, but I'm realizing that maybe that's not the best way to research this.
It's worth noting that as this person is, I guess, handing you back your spyglass after licking it, half her body, or more than half, is covered with these growths of mushrooms and fungus that just kind of come out of her very skin.
Lassie, I don't mean to be rude, but are you all right?
Oh,
You've got
great.
You got something. You got mushrooms growing on your face.
Oh, do they look nice? I've been working on them for a long time. It takes a really long time to get them this much overtaking on my body. My real goal is to become one with the earth and mushrooms entirely. But I'm kind of nervous about losing my eyesight. If I let them grow a little bit too much. I have a couple coming out here, and I'm a little bit nervous about that impeding my vision. But overall, my ultimate goal is just to become a mushroom. So I think I'm 45%.
That's fascinating. I haven't heard. My travels, I've never met someone who was. Well, you're halfway there, so congratulations.
Thank you. I've been working on it for a while. They're really nice. I highly recommend if you have an opportunity to interact and become the host of parasitic fungus. It's not for everyone, but the payoff is definitely worth it.
I'm sure I've played host to a number of pests over my adventures. I can't seem to get barnacles out of my shell, no matter how hard I try. So, I'm I have a bit of experience, although it's been a little bit less enjoyable in my experience. But maybe barnacles are different than mushrooms. I wouldn't know. But in any case, and he looks at the spyglass, and he licks it because someone else did it, and he's gonna be like, no, I didn't learn anything from that, but worth a shot. You always gotta try new things, especially when you meet new people and you go to new places.
It tastes like the air tasted in the ruined temple on the shores of the lake, where you found this thing, battling side by side with a couple of compatriots.
It tastes of battle and camaraderie. I should lick things more often.
Oh, absolutely. It's a really good thing. Also, you said that you had some parasitic barnacles on you at some point.
Oh, yes. And he kind of like just reaches over and he like, here's one right now. I've always got, no matter how hard I clean my shell, there's always one of these things on here, and he just kind of like flicks it away.
Do they talk to you too?
No, lassie. I'm afraid they don't connect to my brain. They just stick to my shell, shell.
It's kind of nice to have companions. So if you ever meet a barnacle that, wants to hang out in your brain, I think you should go.
I'll keep that in mind. I don't think that's their preferred location, but I'll keep. They more kind of hang on just to like eat food in the water, but I'll keep that in mind. I see what I did there. So, what business are ye about, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, we're trying to save the world. Normal adventurer thing.
Aye. Don't I know about that?
More directly speaking, I'm trying to return a library book.
Well, I was planning on visiting the library myself. Might I travel with you?
Certainly. We probably won't be going tonight, but, we'll be staying here, so we can all meet up together in the morning over breakfast or something.
Excellent. Yes, no, I need a rest myself. I just swung from a chandelier and it was glorious, but exhausting. As you might imagine, someone of my size is not the easiest to swing from things.
Well, I admire you putting forward the effort.
I love the way you completely missed the aquarium. That was perfect.
I don't want to disturb the eels. They wouldn't let me in here ever again.
Yeah. So somebody said something about going to bed.
Well, does anybody want any food? I mean, only Breath has been eating this whole time. And he really has been eating this whole time.
The smells of mutton and fried eel are certainly wafting through the air, along with that kind of wet, musty smell that tells you you're right near a large body of water.
Well, I've never had cheese stew before, but I can definitely say I'm interested.
Yeah, I could eat. I might have to borrow some money from someone, but I could eat.
It's alright, I'll cover you.
That's very kind of you, Curls.
I think I could go for some eel. I'm not used to freshwater fish.
Oh yeah, that's right, they said they had fish. I haven't had fish in forever. Never mind, I think I'll take that.
Yeah, I would like whatever their specialty is. That would be great. Something
I'm
ill.
gonna
that
go
needs
out
to
on a
go to
limb
do.
and say it's probably some kind of an eel.
No, surely it's probably steak tartare.
Well, when you order eel, they let you pick one out in the tank. And Sally puts on like a couple of gloves and gets up on the little step stool and gets out these long tongs, and people start like chanting and slamming their glasses on tables, and eel, 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 and she pulls one out, wriggling, and kind of shows it to you, see if it meets with your approval, and then off to the kitchens.
Cordy hates this so much. Just
Can't
really
get
hates
fresher than
it.
that.
You're just sitting there like, can't believe this is happening, and then like the wriggling eel like just like slaps you in the face with like some water, some poorly smelling water, as they go
Can
past.
I do something when they pull the eel out?
Sure.
I want to cast Speak with Animals on myself,
Oh my
and
god.
I want
Okay.
to wish the eel safe travels into its next life.
You certainly can. The eel is just responding, rip and tear and rip and tear.
Yara is cheering this whole time.
I'd also like to whisper to the barnacles that he doesn't like them, so if they could stop being parasites on him, that would be super cool.
Now, barnacles don't have the most scintillating conversation.
I would imagine not.
But they're just like, "Bleh. Okay. Bleh. Okay."
It's more than I would have expected from a barnacle, to be honest.
Same.
They really are quite complex creatures if you really talk to them and get to know.
Are these freshwater barnacles? You know what? Never mind.
I assume it's saltwater barnacles. They just hang around on him.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there might some of them might even be shells with no barnacle inside, still stuck to you. So the liquor and the food is kind of percolating in you guys' insides, and you're feeling the warmth and the good cheer of the mellow eel certainly closing all about you. Or close all about you. One question: are you guys going to take both of the two rooms here? Because from the crowded area, you can see there's a good chance they'll be taken if you don't snatch them up.
Yeah, we probably should. I mean, once again, I can't pay for it, but we probably should.
Yep.
Cordy doesn't have any money either, so she can't contribute anything, unfortunately.
I can pitch in.
So can Akiri.
So can breath.
Yara prefers to sleep under the stars. In his shell.
Okay. Yar is not going to sleep in the tavern. Interesting.
Nah, he'll just go outside and tuck into his shell for the night.
Okay. You notice there are a couple of down on their luck people who are kind of crawling underneath the boardwalk to sleep.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. You guys need to pay 10 gold total to get these 2 rooms for the night, which is quite expensive.
Well, if people want to walk down the street and see how much the lodge is, I'm not opposed.
Yeah, but then our rooms might be gone when we get
Yeah,
back.
good sense. I'm gonna just like check it out real quick.
Are ye having trouble getting a room?
Well, Yar, have you ever checked out the Clayton Lodge, and do you have any idea how much they charge per room per night?
Have I, Max?
Your friend did go there as it was the cheap option. As did some of the sailors from the Heart's Ease.
Okay. I prefer to sleep under the stars, but me compatriots did go to the other tavern as it was less expensive. So if that is your your wish, you might want to check the other one out, as it will likely be less pricey. Can't guarantee there'll be any rooms available though, so you're always welcome to camp out with me if you want. But you don't have a hard shell like I do.
Well, do you have any shackles or chains or anything in your bag?
Normal conversation.
I have some rope.
The 2 women interrupt their conversation at the end of the long trestle table where you all are at, and look over at that comment.
For recreational purposes.
We might need to get a place with a lock on the door.
Oh, you're werewolves. I won't tell anyone.
That's not too far wrong. Even though we're tigers, mate.
Well, seeing as how you've given me some friendly conversation and some company for tomorrow, I wouldn't mind helping ye secure a room for the night. How short are ye?
About 5.5 feet tall.
Oh, no. I think we should go to the Clayton Lodge and see how much it costs there, and then, I don't know. I don't have any money anyway, so that's up to the people with the money.
The earth is always an option. I'm always down to get down in the ground.
Hey, I've slept outside before. We just did. It's probably nicer to sleep outside here than out in the mountains.
It's not mountain cold, but it's still cold. I think with the point of exhaustion, it might be better to have an inn.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I'm all for being out with the people, but I need to get rid of this exhaustion.
I've got a solution. Why don't ye stay here, and I'll go and check if the other place to see what the price is, and then I can come back and let you know. So you don't have to. You can make sure that your rooms are reserved either way.
Well, I mean, if we definitely know it's cheaper, and that's what we want, why don't we go there?
Aye, but there may not be any rooms available at the other place.
Now that's
a good point. Well, we can split up. Some of us can go over there, and some of us can stay here and order food for the table and make sure that they don't give away our rooms. I can cover the rooms if it comes to it. I'd prefer not to pay all of it myself, but I suppose I could.
Carrie can chip in 5 gold.
Bella, can you put on a performance to see if we can get our rooms comped?
Always.
Now
I pull out my bagpipes from...
That's the move right there.
Apparently a quick draw.
Aye, you perform, lassie.
whenever I get the chance.
All right. So Yar, okay. I forgot how I usually do this. So I'm going to put you guys down on the town map and just move yourselves wherever you're going.
I think Akiri's gonna stay at the Mellow Eel with whoever wants to stay and like hold down the fort.
If we're gonna get a room if she can get a room calmed, why don't we get a room? We'll just be paying for one room, maybe at the expensive place.
Or I might be able to just put my hat out and get enough money to pay for it. I mean, even if I can't get it comped exactly.
Word up.
Same deal.
So let me get this straight. So Yar is the halflings are playing by the door right now.
Fuck the halflings.
That's what she said.
No, I'm polite. I'll wait for them to be done.
Or ask if you can join them.
Well, at least I'll wait for them to be done with this song.
Which may be what Paul was suggesting.
That's never mind.
I think Yara would, regardless of what they decide to do, he's going to stick around the Mellow EO because he did order some food and he wants to eat it.
I'm going wherever Belle is going.
Right, because I'm your trusty guide.
I'm going
I'll
to
probably sit down on the side of the stage, if you prefer.
I'm gonna pull out that Evian locket that we got. I guess I might have had it out while we were talking about it.
It still has some of Samson's blood on it.
Right.
Oh God.
That's disturbing.
And I'm going to give it to Krim. Krim, I think Samson would probably like for you to hold on to this.
And I'm going to rub my fingers over it and feel the grooves in it.
Okay.
And
you can feel how part of it can kind of slide out and transform and change shape.
I'll have to inspect this later, but okay. Thank you.
Of course. Just use it, and then maybe if we find somebody, we can show it to them. But I think in the meantime, you should use it.
Holding it like it's a bomb, like it scares me.
It has a strange weight to it and tingles with magic. So is somebody going to Clayton's Lodge, or are you all staying here and getting rooms? And is Bella, you're talking to somebody to ask about playing?
Yeah, I'll go up to the flamboyant half-elf and ask him if there's a waiting list to get on.
He says, well, normally, yes. Nico, you can right-click that card to take it into your hand. Or no, not Nico. Who was taking this card?
Krim.
Krim. Drogo says, you are a musician, of course. You have that musical instrument with all of the pipes. He flutters himself with the fan. Well, this evening, of course, we have the Brim Brothers. But perhaps another evening we could certainly... normally I review the musicians that are to play and choose from an array of options, the best choice for the evening. We can certainly talk about the possibilities, and I would be happy to listen to a demonstration perhaps tomorrow if you are staying around. Of course, tonight we have entertainment already lined up, and most likely He checks like a piece of paper behind the bar. Through sacrifice.
What?
Sacrifice day, the end of the week.
Right, yes. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, well, yes, absolutely. I'll audition tomorrow. I go back to
Wonderful.
the table and say, this place is lame. Let's go to the other place.
Yeah, let's go.
Not loudly, just,
Breath
And-
looks up with a mouthful of meatball. What?
Hey, Max, how much for some meal? Since that's what I ordered.
You ordered a meal and a drink, and it wasn't one of the specials, right? What did you get? I can't hear you.
Sorry, you said none of the specials were eel related, right?
No.
Yes, he would have wanted something that was an eel dish. So
Okay.
he didn't get any of the specials.
No, well, I guess in a sense, all of their eel dishes are always special.
Then okay. Yes.
Okay, where are you guys? The mellow eel. Yeah. So you have that's going to run you, 4 silver pieces for the. Did you get fried eel, boiled eel, eye melter eel?
I think you would have tried eye melter eel.
Oh, really? Okay, so not just the wasabi tea, but even the people sitting next to Yar are getting this cloud of spice that makes your eyes water from the red hot spiciness of this eel dish. And it's just
like I like it.
It's just been like stewed with like these incredibly strong peppers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that actually would have run you 6 silver pieces, and then your drink was what was it?
It was the hazelnut one, I believe. The Amigo.
The hazelnut amigo ale. Right on. So that was 3 silver pieces, so total of 9 silver.
Gotcha. Thank you. And if y'all have already decided on where you're gonna go sleep, I think he's just gonna be like, all right, well, my food was excellent, and I'll catch up with ye tomorrow. I guess I'll meet you at the other end.
Your mouth is burning.
Akiri pushes her tea towards him, just like, here, you can have this too.
Thank you, lassie. Just like I like it.
Okay, so you guys are eating dinner and drinking. Did I give you guys the prices? Did everybody who bought something pay?
I suppose I still need to pay for my wine.
Okay, that was 4 silver.
I don't know how much mine was either.
Well, what did you get?
Mountain Jam Ale.
The Mountain Jam Ale was 3 silver.
Did the water have any cost?
They did not charge you for the lake water.
Oh, that sounds appealing. Okay.
It's clean. It tastes fine.
Did they just scoop it out of the eel aquarium?
They did not scoop it out of the eel aquarium.
How much was the wasabi tea?
Is that blip in the in-game chat? I don't know what the question is, Taladar. The wasabi tea costs 5 silver pieces. All right. So, who's going to check out the lodge?
I think we're all going over now.
Yeah, I believe we are.
Once we learned how lame their music arrangement was. We're like, nope, I don't want to deal with this.
Okay.
All right, let's get going, everybody.
You guys leave the mellow eel behind, and it's good cheer. It's gonna be quite late now. All of you are probably getting a point of exhaustion at this point. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. But you are all gonna be pretty tired now, and Equitas especially so.
So would that be 2 for me?
Yeah.
Yay.
Sounds like the perfect time to fight 30 demons.
Just like last time.
Clayton's Lodge is a very different kind of building. Go ahead and move yourself over to where you are going on the map.
Max, I'm sorry. Does that include me?
Yeah. Well, you're not going to the lodge, though, are you?
No, I just meant for exhaustion.
Yeah, but, well, no, actually, because you did not just trek over a mountain. You arrived by boat.
Cool. Right. I'm outside sleeping.
So you crawl onto the boardwalk. Actually... whatever. The lodge is kind of a simple plaster building, gray tile roof, and kind of has these softly blowing chimes by the door, slightly rusty. There's kind of encloses this central deck with chairs, and you can smell the large stew pot boiling even at this late hour as you come up. You find that the lodge is, if anything, more crowded than the Mellow Eel. And it's basically one kind of large common room. Where you just, there's just beds, just all in the same large room. And it kind of is heated all by the same big fireplace. And there's people kind of talking in low voices, and the lights are low. There's a couple of burning tapers, smoking in the corner. More smoke than light, really. These burning reeds, and you, there's all kinds of people in here: humans, halflings, gnomes, and dwarves. A female human comes up to you guys and says, "Good evening. Are you here for? It's a bit late. Are you here for to sleep? Are you here for lodging?"
Yes.
She's kind of older, and she has this kind of white mantle and a cape that she wears over this brown robe that kind of matches her white hair. Very long white hair. She says, I'm Giva Clayton. This is Clayton's Lodge." She's counting. She says, Are you all taking beds?"
If you have them.
Yes, please.
Right. Okay, I think each of you, I think we can accommodate all 7 of you. Please be quiet. Try not to wake anyone. And she kind of reaches out. She says, if you're wanting some stew, that's going to be a silver piece for a bowl. And if you're wanting beds for the evening, that will be 5 coppers each.
I hand over 1 silver piece and say, "This is for me and my tiefling friend here."
That's very kind of you, Bref.
Also, slight retcon. I imagine Jeremy forgot about this, but Bref would have remembered to grab Chock-a-Block on the way out of the Mellow Eel.
Ooh, me too.
Okay. Are you all paying 5 copper for a bed in the common room? It's going to be scattered all over because they're not all going to be in the same area. There's going to be one on the north side, one on the south side of the room, all over the place.
Yeah, and I'll also pay for some stew.
Okay.
Cordy will go outside and find somewhere to sleep outside.
Okay.
I'll hand over a silver and also pay for Mavra.
I can pay myself. That's okay. I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to,
but that
that's
requires
fine.
breaking down silver to copper, and I don't feel like doing the math.
Okay. Thanks.
Will
No problem.
the stew help any with the exhaustion?
Maver, did you pull out your money pouch at all during this process, or did you pretty much go to pay and then she kind of forestalled you?
Yeah, she just stalled me.
Okay. Yes, Bella's right about the conversion. Was that the question? I didn't hear the question.
Oh, I just didn't want to convert money, because I didn't want to do math.
Yes, the little blip sound, Cyvius, is the chat in Roll20. That's what lets me know that there's a message I should check. Okay, sorry, were there any questions that I needed to answer?
Does the stew or anything? Because I guess I ate something just a minute ago at the Mellow Ill Tavern.
Okay.
I don't guess stew or anything is going to help with exhaustion. The best thing to do for that is sleep, right?
Yeah, and I'm not really applying a second level of exhaustion just yet.
Alrighty, cool.
But you could certainly sleep through the next day.
Well,
okay. So you all take beds, and you all go down. The stew is unfortunately slightly burned. It's been on that fire for a long time. And it kind of has that kind of nasty, like tacky kind of flavor. Bitter kind of flavor that a slightly burned stew has. But it's got chunks of meat and fish swimming around in a big stew pot with lots of vegetables thrown in. Okay, you all take beds. Assuming you've all paid at this point, she takes you each to a different bed and shows it to you. Whispers, there's a blanket here, and you can get an extra blanket if you've been wanting it for 1 copper piece. Rest well. There's a strong smell of people in here because you're all in the same room.
remembering how cold I got the last night, I'm going to throw her a copper for an extra. Give her a copper for another blanket.
Okay. Well, that'll keep you extra warm. It is pretty warm in here. There's all different kinds of people.
Tiefling does. No, I do not like. Aquinas does not like the cold at all.
Curls, roll a perception roll for me as you head to bed.
Okay.
Cordy, make a survival roll for me. And also, Yar rolls a survival roll for me, please.
I got a 16 perception, which is probably one of the best perception I've had yet.
So you got a lot of bad rolls. You're passing by one of the beds that doesn't have anyone in it, but has, like, stuff piled up on it, like large chests and boxes and, like, piles of clothing. Looks like somebody's luggage or gear. And you pause, and you can barely make out, glinting in the light of the burning taper in the corner. That's really more smoke than light. A kind of a gilded sigil on the side of the trunk. It's a sword with a pair of wings.
She's gonna turn to the hostess and be excuse me, miss, but who does all this stuff belong to, if I can ask?
She says, a feathered knight, feathered like yourself.
Where did they go?
Well, I'm
did you
sure
catch
I don't
a
know,
name?
miss. His name? Sorry, I don't recall.
All right.
He's been around town.
Would Equitus have heard any of this?
He came over on the boat with all the pigs.
Okay. Thank you.
And he has a dwarf with him. He's not here either.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Shh.
And then she's gonna go back and lay down.
She pats you on the head as you head off to bed. There are a couple of folks with small children who cry during the night, so it's a bit interrupted, not as restful as it could be, but it is indoors and it is away from the freezing cold, and you guys are able to certainly rest pretty well. Yar and Cordy, both of you kind of are finding places outside. Now it's the middle of winter, so it is quite cold. Not as cold as it's up on the mountains, but there is snow on the ground in certain places. Do you have gear, like a bedroll or warm clothing or something like that?
Cordy has a bedroll.
Okay. So you can use that to keep warm, somewhat. How about Yar?
I mean, Yar has a bedroll, but I imagine that he probably just sleeps by tucking into his shell. So I don't really. I mean, he could put the bedroll under him, but I don't think he can like fit in it. If that makes sense. It's more like I just imagine he just whenever he sleeps, he just kind of tucks in and just like.
How does he keep warm?
I would imagine that the body heat of being tucked into his shell would probably be it, but maybe he puts the bedroll over his shell.
I mean, turtles are reptiles, right?
Yes. I don't know if that means that turtles are cold-blooded or not, but
probably not.
I would say that he probably puts the bedroll over his shell.
Okay, and then tucks in.
Okay. And I don't know if that would actually help very much, but unless he found a bedroll specifically made to like hold his entire freaking body, I imagine it's more like a small blanket that just kind of like barely like sits a little bit over his shell, just to give him a little bit extra warmth. Or maybe he puts it underneath himself to like so he's not sleeping just on the cold ground.
Okay, that makes sense too. So both of you are kind of like finding locations outside, and you sleep through the night. Okay. So you guys sleep, and Arkney sleeps with you. You are going to heal up to full, get your spell slots back. As the next day dawns, those of you with items with charges will regain 1 charge. And most of you awaken pretty early the next day to the sound of a crying child, or multiple crying children, in the large common room of Clayton's lodge.
What about exhaustion levels?
You remove your levels of exhaustion. Remove 1 level of exhaustion. Which is all you had.
Okay, so we're going to say I only had 1. Okay.
It is now the 28th of Jaksu, which is our version of January. A Wonder Day. What would you guys like to do?
Kiri would
Probably
like
murder. I think murder.
no breath, no murder. As the cleric, I am kind of against this.
Well, what
most
about
of the
breakfast first?
time.
Bref and Equitus, you both feel a tug, starting in the palm of your hand, reaching up through your arm. You need to go. You need to act. You're so close now.
Okay, are we all together right now at somewhere at the lodge or outside of the lodge?
Certainly.
Okay, well, we need to talk about this. What are we going to do? I can feel myself wanting to do it, but right now it's not enough to where anything is hurting. But I have a feeling that the longer we're here, the longer that's not going to be true. I want to make it clear I don't want to do anything. I don't.
Oh, you feel the pain. You feel the pain.
Oh, no.
You feel the pain starting like a hook through your hand when you say that. And Bref, you too are starting to feel it tugging harder and harder as you're waking up. Krim says, we need a private place. Krim says we need a private place to discuss this. We need to stop talking about this in public. You guys are standing around the beds. People are either waking up or sleeping in or going off and doing various things. The sailors heading off to their ship, workers heading off to various jobs, etc. You can hear the sound of the wakeful town outside in the morning.
Okay,
Can Akiri see if that Aarakocra ever came back?
That bed still is piled high with stuff, as is the one next to it.
Okay, so she's gonna be on high alert for that bird as she goes outside.
Okay. She's on high alert for as she goes outside, and the woman did say, Clayton did say that he came over on the Heart's Ease, so your eye is drawn toward that ship in the port along the docks. I want to add that so you guys are now in Arkney, and we do have some pressing things that you guys are taking care of. But the reason I have all of the names of everything laid out is because we're just going to assume that as you guys are kind of living here, and going around town, you can just ask people where things are. You're going to figure out where they are from reading signs, and we don't have to go into it every time you want to find something. Is Bref here, or is he away taking care of Childers?
No, I'm here.
Oh, I lost your camera.
Oh, okay. Yep. Nope, I'm here. I lost your camera. Weird.
No.
Roll20 has separated us.
How dare it?
I just got you back, bruh.
Okay. And I also, you guys are here, and there is something urgent that you need to take care of, but you can, yeah, I already said that. You can kind of ask around, and we'll just assume that you are asking around and able to find out where things are, at least on a basic level. Okay. So you guys are talking in the middle of Clayton's lodge. Akiri is checking out the bed, and Krim says, "We need a private place to discuss this." Which you definitely are not in a private place.
I agree. Let's find some place private. Maybe I don't know. I'm open to suggestions.
Sorry, I had to step away. Were you all in the... Are you all talking in the room or in the main area of the lodge?
As shown on the map, they are currently still in the lodge.
And the last we said you were going to meet us there in the morning, so I was sort of assuming you're probably there too.
I was going to say this is about when I, knock on the door. Or not even knock on the door, when I just arrive.
Absolutely. The Tortle steps into the room, and you're finding... you go ahead and make a perception roll for me, as Krim says, "Let's go buy one room at the tavern."
You need me to make a perception roll?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Okay. You immediately notice Yar. Is it Yar or Yar? Or Yar. Or Yar.
Yes.
You
Yes.
immediately notice, Yar, that the tiefling, which is Equitus, played by Paul, and the muscular barbarian with the big hammer, both of them, their right hand is shaking, and they both look like they kind of have this murderous look in their eyes. And they keep looking toward the door, both of them, and then their hands, their shaking right hand, kind of unconsciously reaching for their weapon.
Aye, laddies. I am not familiar with the lifespan of your kinds, but aren't you a bit young to be getting arthritis?
No, see, it's because we want to do a murder.
Aye. And who might ye be wanting to be murdering?
Let's not talk about this right now, right here. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, but we're not doing the murder. We just want to, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guys!
Mm-hmm. Why don't you
Akiri's
keep it very low, Bref? Let's talk like we're being secret, telling each other secrets.
The golden-scaled dragonborn in your party turns toward the muscular Bref and says, "Shut the fuck up, Bref!" Oh, whispered. And whispers, "Shut the fuck up,
Okay.
Bref!"
All right. Sorry. Thought everyone knew.
We know, but there are people around us, Bref, who don't.
Hey, Max, just for the sake of Can I just roll like a knowledge or history or something check, or maybe
To do what?
religion or whatever, to see if I recognize Can I see the symbol on their hands?
It is visible, but I don't know. You would probably, since you're focusing on their hands, with that perception roll, yes. I'll show you what it looks like.
So can I do a knowledge roll or some kind of knowledge roll to determine if I know what's going on with them?
Certainly.
So maybe history or...
It looks like this. Oh, and it is daytime now.
Oh, yee. Cool.
Fancy.
So would this be like a history check?
Yes, it would. Actually, no,
Would it
this is
be-
Arcana. Sorry.
Or would it be religion?
Arcana.
Great.
This is Arcana.
That's slightly better. It's not a 1.
You have never seen anything like this before, and it's super creepy and weird.
Okay, I think though I could like I could think Yara could put 2 and 2 together that something is going on.
Probably.
Hey, their mark normal for E2?
No, it's not normal. Okay. We'll talk about this. We'll even talk about it with you, Yar. But we need to talk about this somewhere else, please.
Max, did you say something about not needing to look around for things? Like we just kind of can play off the map? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, so I've got the names for everything on the map because basically, we're going to assume that you can ask around town, talk to the locals, immerse yourself in the town of Arkney and just figure out where things are.
Why don't we go to that abandoned cabin behind the lodge?
Okay.
It'd probably be pretty private because it's abandoned.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. So, Bref, are you speaking in your
Oh,
usual... Sorry?
I said, well, bye, and I started heading towards the cabin.
Okay. So you're actually heading toward the cabin?
Yep.
Is that the...
You do feel a slight pain as you do not immediately head toward your goal.
I don't like going towards the cabin.
I know,
Feel
Bref.
good.
I know, Bref. We just have to kind of power through it for right now, Betty.
Same for Equitas. Okay. This is interesting.
On the way over there, can Akiri kind of grab Yar real quick and be like, "Hey, so there was there a kind of like a bird person like me on your ship?"
Aye, yes. Twas the leader of the expedition. Max, what his name is?
It is Sezig Lagaduk.
Aye, his name was Sezik. I couldn't say his last name. It was a bit hard for me Tortle tongue.
Can Akiri make a check to see if she knows who that is? Or if she's heard of Sezig Legaduke from
Sure.
stories and stuff?
Sure.
The history, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. 15.
He must not be one of the super famous names.
So she knows nothing about him. Or
Well,
them.
that's not entirely true.
Okay.
Because just from his name, you can tell he must have been brought up or be part of a clan that was kept as pets.
Really?
As that's not, that's a Veye style name.
Yeah.
The Empire of Veye style name, and not a Aarakocra traditional Aarakocra name.
Gotcha.
It's not that
Yar?
unusual for Aarakocra to have, names from all different kinds of cultures, depending on their flock
Okay.
of origin.
Yar, what did Sezek look like?
What does it look like?
Sorry.
So you guys are talking about this as you kind of pick up your pack and strap it on, get all your stuff out of the lodge, and make your way over to the abandoned cabin with Bref in the lead.
Yeah.
Yar, you know that he kind of let's see, he's got heavily scarred with lots of places where his feathers don't grow. He's a kind of a seagull looking Aarakocra. He's got chips and scratches over his beak, where he's taken a lot of blows in a lot of fights. And all in all, he kind of has a sort of a driven air about him.
Okay. He was a bit more seagull-looking sort of bird, and he had lots of scars on his beak and his feathers, his body, and very, very. I don't know. He had this attitude of just confidence and drive to do whatever he was searching for. He didn't even seem that's upset when we couldn't find the sword. He just paid us and decided he could continue on his quest. So I liked him. He was a good captain. Happy to serve under him for this quest. Shame we didn't find the sword.
Okay, thank you, Yar. Do you know where he went?
I'm afraid not, Lassie. Oh, right, Max. He just kind of took off. Yeah.
As I messaged you in our chat, you, having hung out with him for a while, you would know he'd probably be in one of two places.
That's right. Sorry, let me go. I think we had this conversation like a week ago. Stupid Discord, why can't I get anything to work? Okay, 1 second.
Okay. The rest of you are heading into the abandoned cabin. As soon as you walk in, there's a door swinging on its hinges. The whole place, you are struck by this smell of just kind of slightly moldering wood, as this place has not been maintained, and it's right by the lake. There's holes all through the roof, shafts of sunlight coming through, and the air is full of dust. And the areas of where that light does not strike are dark and doubtful. Aquitus. Make a perception roll, please.
Nope.
Not very good.
You got a natural 1?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel uncomfortable. You're not entirely sure why. And as the sounds of the outdoors are kind of muted, and mostly you guys can hear the sound of the small lake waves crashing against the shore, Aquitus kind of like stiffens as he enters the room. And Aquitus, you feel this cold descend around you. A stillness. A power. A malice.
All right,
can't-
perfectly normal abandoned cabin for us to talk privately in.
You all crowd around these piles, these piles of wood. The rest of you, not Aquitus, who's kind of staring into the shadows, like he can see something there. The rest of you immediately notice, like, it looks like people have maybe been in here recently, but mostly like clearing. There's like areas that are like clear in the middle where you could like sit on like some of the fallen logs and bits of roofing. Aquitus, you just have this very familiar and uncomfortable feeling. And looking down at your feet, you notice there's like pieces of bread. There's like chunks, little bite-sized chunks of bread, like in a line, running between your feet and into this abandoned cabin. And there's something about the shadows that it's almost like they're calling your name, like you want to go stand there.
I'm gonna move closer to into the shadows.
So everybody's kind of getting into the middle of the room, except for Aquitus, who goes and stands in a corner, Blair Witch style.
Aquitus, you okay?
I'm really paying attention to these shadows and seeing what I can hear.
Okay. Haley says, whenever we get in private, can everyone pause for a second so I can be a part of the discussion? Everyone pause. I want to ritual cast detect magic. Okay. So you all stand still. Do you guys agree? So Crim's like, I want to take 10 minutes and cast a spell.
Yeah, sure. This place is creepy as hell.
While
I'll
that's
gladly stand in the dark for 10 minutes.
while that's going, can a Carrie Papa detect evil and good?
Sure. Is that a cantrip or an ability?
It's a first level.
Okay. You're just going to cast it as a first level spell?
Yep.
Guys, when you cast a spell, just go ahead and just click it so that it comes up in chat.
Alright.
Thanks. That is our action of casting a spell. I cast a spell, click, goes in chat. That's like how you declare that it's happening. Okay. So you're all standing around, and you start to feel the gnawing pangs of hunger for breakfast. They didn't really offer breakfast at the lodge, except for last night's slightly burned stew. And Krim is doing however you want to describe yourself, doing a ritual cast to detect magic, maybe rubbing a copper coin. Something like that. Up to you. So she's doing that and concentrating. You're all kind of standing around, starting to feel these hunger pangs. And Akiri casts a spell. You concentrate. Your awareness spreads out, filling the abandoned cabin. And you immediately feel this crawling, sickening feeling like insects scrambling in their multitudes over your skin, wriggling, streaming forth like a tidal wave of creepy crawlies just all over you. This place has been magically desecrated.
Oh boy. Guys, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here now. Get out, everyone, out, now.
I don't understand. First,
You too,
you're
Equitas.
mad because I was talking too loud in public. Now you're mad that we're somewhere private?
Nope, it's not that breath. It's just the wrong place to be. And she takes out the door. And no, she's like actively shoving people out the door.
Yeah, Yar has enough good sense to follow the cleric out of the room when they panic out of terror.
Okay.
I'm staying where I am.
In the room, does the weird vibe that the room is giving off feel like natural magic to Cordy? Does she recognize? Does it feel like it's something natural, or does it?
You didn't cast a spell, so you're just going off of trying to get a vibe.
The vibe, does it feel like?
Make a wisdom check.
Something reasonable. Nature.
Wisdom. Actually, make a wisdom check, and you can add your nature if you have proficiency. You know what? That's too complicated. Just make a wisdom check. Wait, no, you know how to play D&D. You're experienced. Yeah, you know how to do this.
Wait, that's right, you're good.
That's not what I meant.
Sorry,
I'm not going to have to explain proficiency. Just roll a d20 and add slash roll 1d20. Slash roll 1d20 plus whatever the modifier is. Or just roll a d20 and add it in your head. Meanwhile, the rest of you are some of you are the Tortle is heading out with Curls. 13. You getting no vibes. You're getting no nature, not nature vibes. It's a abandoned building. You some of you are heading outside with Akiri. Aquitus and I think Bref certainly are staying inside.
Everything seems fine to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Akiri outside. I'm gonna go and tap Aquitus on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, you're being real creepy right now."
I'm gonna kind of turn back to her and yeah, okay, let's go. Let's go.
We're leaving? Okay, fine.
You're feeling a strange pain as there's more delays. While all this is going on, Krim, are you just ignoring it and staying where you are? So yes or no. So hopefully Krim can answer. Not leaving until you finish the spell. Okay. So you are going to get a magical ping on the area of this building. Okay? It is magical. The School of Magic, is enchantment.
Ooh.
You, the rest of you outside, you're feeling these hunger pangs. Bref and Equitus are acting strange. You guys are definitely feeling more and more strongly this tug from the palm of your hand. What are
When
you
they're
guys doing?
outside, Akiri's gonna go, okay. Oh, it's not good in there. There's something real bad. It was magically desecrated or something like that. Something real bad happened in there. And it was still active and it wasn't good. It felt real bad. And I can still feel it.
Yeah, that place feels very familiar to me, and not in a good way. And it's really bringing up some bad things.
Yeah, so
Right. Okay, so let's go get a room in the tavern where we can all talk privately. I'll pay for it.
I can help pay for it.
If people
Yeah.
are interested, I can give everyone some good berries so we don't have to worry about food for the day. If we want to try to have like a busy day and not have to worry about spending money and like having complicated meals, but it's really just a preference thing.
That's probably a good idea.
it is actually I like
Yeah,
that idea.
I'm down with that. Also, I do not have the information on where the bird went.
Oh, boy, it's definitely in there, man. I want it to come from Yar's words and not from me, because I think that's going to be a lot more interesting. Which is why the only reason I'm like, trying to make that happen. Hang on a second. What?
Definitely munching on those berries, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, these are great. Thank you.
Yeah, these are very surprisingly
Okay.
filling.
You know what? It is actually possible that I wrote up something to tell you, Nico, and never actually sent it to you.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing it.
Okay, I'm gonna type it to you. And it's silly because I really want this to be in Yar's words.
No, I understand.
Hang on a sec, folks. Stand by. Move yourselves where you're going, please. On the map.
Sorry, Google Chrome
let's-
froze on me. So
Let's go to the tavern. Is that correct?
Really?
So do we just want to like leave the creepy cabin? Like,
I mean, at least we know where it is. No, part of me very much does not want to leave that cabin at all. But we probably should.
I think we should probably try to come back and find out what the deal is, especially if it's dangerous. We wouldn't want anyone to, stumble into something bad.
Yeah, but I
think
feel
that's
like we
good.
have some more urgent issues.
Yes,
you
I
know.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm just saying I don't know if it's connected.
It probably somehow is. I wouldn't doubt it. Though it's making the palm of my hand hurt. Plus, I think there are other things about it that are familiar to me. And yeah, it's definitely something that needs to go on the to-do list.
Carls. Before we got interrupted earlier with all that scary spookiness, Sezik said that.
One second. On your way to the Mellow Eel, you pass by the Arkengard station, the east one, where a couple of them glance at you guys. They don't seem to have noticed that you came from the abandoned cabin, but pretty much from you look like you're coming from the lodge, and they just kind of the various guards with their large crossbows and their chainmail uniforms kind of give you guys a nod, keeping their eye on you as you are armed and still dressed in these filthy traveling clothes. As you are walking through the road, so they are looking at you guys, but you get the sense they're looking mostly at your clothes.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, sir. One of them just nods at you and it returns your greeting.
Yeah, Equitas is just making a beeline for the mostly ill, mellow ill.
The Mellow Eel. Okay. You guys are back in the tavern. It's definitely a little less hopping than it was last evening. But there are a few super dedicated drinkers roundabout. And there's a couple of people kind of lounging and eating breakfast. This place does serve breakfast. And they most of their breakfast dishes are eel or fish. There's an array. There's like a kipper platter.
I mean, I'm hungry. We could eat. No, we just got good berries. Can we eat? Somebody said something about getting a room so we can just talk.
Yeah, I'll go up to the. Is it still the fancy elf?
Yes. Drogo Evans is there, fluttering away with his fan. He's wearing a different fine suit. And he greets you guys again. You've returned. Welcome back. And a pleasant morning. Are you looking to to audition right now? I have a few minutes, I suppose.
No, actually, I wouldn't want to impose on you when you're obviously so busy. But I was wondering if you provide day rooms?
Day rooms. Room for the day, but not the night.
Yes, exactly.
Normally, no, but we could probably work something out. Would you just like to take... He folds up the fan and points. Would you just like to take one of the empty rooms? Shall we say 3 gold pieces?
Perfect. I'll hand over 3 gold pieces.
Very well. Would you like anything sent there? Perhaps a few morning drinks?
Sure. I'll get, if we could get a couple of pots of tea and jugs of water, I think we would all appreciate a little
Absolutely.
pick-me-up.
Absolutely. Sally, we need some tea. And he begins bustling about. He gives you guys a key for the room. Small, simple iron key. And directs you toward... It's the room all the way on the end.
All right. I grab everybody and head on.
Okay. You guys find the room is well apportioned. The furniture is well made. It's nice, pretty, relatively new. There's a couple of beds in here, and there's like extra blankets just like on a rack on the walls, and there's several shelves where you could put things, as well as a little table and a ewer of water for washing up, which is quickly replaced by a tea setting that is swiftly brought in by the servers who excuse themselves.
Hi, is this a conversation you want me to be a part of? It sounds like you've got some private business to attend to.
Well, I suppose that it's going to be spending time with us while we're here. We're certainly glad to have you, so you should probably be aware of what exactly is going on, but I would ask you not to tell people in general. We're trying to fix the situation, but as you'll quickly discover, it's rather sensitive and the sort of thing that people might have a tendency to overreact about.
Aye. Very well. I will join in your discussion.
Yes, so, long story short, you can see that the two gentlemen in our group have these unusual glowy tattoos on their hands. Those appear to be some kind of magical compulsion that is making them feel the overwhelming desire to murder somebody who lives in this town. And we're not entirely sure why, but whenever they don't try to murder that person, they experience excruciating pain. So one of our reasons for being here is to try and consult with the library and wait for news from a well-known researcher of magical diseases to see if we can possibly figure out some sort of way to remove this from them before they succumb to the compulsion and murder this guy.
I see what you lads were talking about earlier. The library, you say? I was actually about to tell young girls here that one of the possible places where we might find Sizik is at the library. Either there or somewhere where he could find lots and lots and lots of cheap wine. One of those two places is where he would be likely to be found. Frankly, I was wanting to check out the library myself. It sounds like quite the magical place, and I don't know much about magic, but I'm always happy to experience new places and new things.
Well,
and I
it
think you'd
seems
be
like
the right place to go to deal with your issue here.
it seems like everything is pointing us toward this library. Plus, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I really need to return this book.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's hit the books.
Well, we need to strategize and figure out how we're going to keep the boys from doing their murder.
Upon those words, Bref and Equitus You both feel a strong pull in your palm. Painful, like a fishhook is lodged deep in your flesh. The idea that these people are going to prevent you from accomplishing the task set before you means you need to get away from them, most likely.
Oh, poop. All right. Bref, you and I need to go somewhere away from them right now. Okay?
Yeah, I have to step out and use the little breaths room.
Yeah. You don't need to know. Let's just go. Bref, let's go.
Okay,
All right.
no.
Wait, no.
Hold on 1 second.
Start
Why
walking
don't
out the
you
door.
Yeah, I do too.
Yar is stepping in front of the door. His big shell body is right in front of the.
Who has hold person again?
Not me.
This strange Tortle is blocking your egress.
Okay,
Brother
look.
Equitas.
This is not something that, if we don't get away from you, is going to get violent. And I know this is going to hurt, but I don't want that to happen.
Why don't
And if you make any kind of plans, I don't want to know what they are anyway.
Okay, why don't you two sit here and come up with a plan for how you're going to murder the guy.
Okay.
And what
All
you
right.
do not stop talking about that plan.
All right.
And I'm hopeful, Krim and I are hopeful, that if you don't stop talking about murdering this guy and making a more and more complicated plan on how you're going to pull that off,
Oh, man.
keep your gesh from activating.
That's probably not a bad idea. At least it's something to try.
This plan of action is not going to lessen the pain you guys are in. Let's take a short break, just a minute or two, so we can all use the little breaths room, and we'll be right back with more murder prevention action. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. See you back here in 2 minutes.
Coolio.
Are we on a break? Okay. You had to go evict a bug.
Alright. Almost everybody's back. Hi there, Twitch chat. Grimslag, Sivius, good to have you guys around. Hello, Jiruo? Welcome. All right. Okay. Let's start rolling again. So, when we left off a few minutes ago, things were getting tense in your room in the Mellow Eel Tavern. Some of you are blocking the door, while Breath and Equitus were trying to leave it. I think that's about where we left things.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have like my psychedelic mushrooms. I used them before, correct, in the game? Based on that experience, do I understand how they like affect someone when they take them and how long they last?
I mean, it depends on the dose, but you took a good dose and it lasted all day.
How many doses do I like have left of it?
Roll a d4. 4.
Awesome.
4 powdered mushroom packets.
And like one is like the dose that I took.
What is the name of the stuff again?
Give me 1 second, I will pull it up. Horn Black Earth Tongue. Fun time shrooms.
Well, I think you wrote that.
Yeah, I know, but I just thought it was fun.
Okay. Black Earth Tongue?
Yeah, horned black earth.
Oh, horned black earth tongue. Okay. Yeah, and it basically gave you made you trip for a whole day. It was, I mean, you weren't like out cold. But it definitely gave you a very weird sense of reality.
Would you say that I would be able to accomplish tasks while on it, or would it like augment my ability to do things like too much? Like when I have a
you really weren't able to do much. You didn't really try though.
Alright. Hey, Breath and Equitas. You guys want to have a good time? I got this really powerful powder and it's really dank. I got some dank herbs.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Do you think Equitus would probably see through this? I think I would know. I mean, I would probably agree that it might be something to do.
Probably steroids will probably help you guys.
It's the middle of a very tense moment where you guys are trying to leave the room and you're being physically blockaded. So her randomly bringing this up is... yeah, pretty obvious.
Yeah, okay. I look down at him. Look at Cordy. You have 4?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Expand your mind, man. Your mind is hurting. This will mellow you out.
I'm gonna take 2 of them.
You're gonna
They're-
take 2?
They're done. I've taken them.
Hang on a second. So what is Bref doing?
I just want to get out.
He just
I
kind
cast
of...
Charm Spirit on Breath.
Okay.
Trying to get it.
Aquitus, you know this is going to impair your ability to accomplish your task. The task that lies before you.
Uh-huh. So I'm not gonna be able to do this, am I?
So you feel an intense pain in your hand as you reach out for the packets of powdered mushroom, powdered black earth tongue. Very intense. It's getting it gets stronger with as your hand moves forward. Do you want to continue?
No, but I'm gonna nod at Cordy, but I can't reach for him anymore.
I hate to say it, but why don't we just knock them out?
That's going to alarm both of you as well.
Oh shoot! That's such a good idea, but
Cordy, you cast that on me.
You need to make a Wisdom save.
Okay.
Wisdom save.
Oh wow!
Thank you, but no, I just really want to go, please.
You definitely felt her try to affect your mind with magic, and you're feeling an intense pain that you've got to avoid that happening, because it'll stop you from doing what you need to do.
What is this a one-story building? I can't recall.
Yes. Well, there is a second story, but you're not on it. You're on the bottom floor.
I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna make my way to the window and try and climb out.
Okay.
I'm going to cast resistance on myself.
Okay.
That gives me 1d4 to a saving throw.
Bref goes to the window and opens it up. You can.
I try to grab him.
All right. Make a grapple check. I'm assuming you're resisting that, Bref.
Yeah. Is that just a strength check, or is
I
it?
think so. Yes. Make a strength.
Okay.
Make opposed strength checks.
So the one on the left. Keep going up. Nope.
I'm looking around and
Okay.
I don't, I'm seeing what's going on here, and oh fuck.
So Bref just made a rush for the window, and Mavra grabbed onto him, and now they're pulling at each other. Each of them straining. Mavra's proving stronger for the moment. What are the rest of you doing?
Yar, you seemed to know the town guard. How long did they lock that guy up for harassing the woman the other night?
Okay, Bella's trying to talk. Meanwhile, Krim turns and makes an attack.
Fuck.
I think. Shoot!
Make an attack roll, Haley. There it is. 21. I believe will hit Aquitus and deal 2 bludgeoning damage. Thwack! In response, Aquitus pulls out some component and turns invisible.
You killed him! He's gone! How'd you... No! Aquitus!
Okay, can I hit him with my sword?
Where is he?
But the sword hilt. Well, I saw where he just was, so could I make an attack on where he was?
Sure.
And
Make an
I'm
attack with disadvantage.
okay. And this is going to be the butt of my rapier. I'm doing
Okay.
non-lethal damage.
All right.
That was a 15.
I believe that misses.
Yes, my bad. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it
Okay.
does.
Okay, you swipe. There's nothing there.
Can
With-
Akiri's gonna lunge for where she saw Equitus last.
Well, you just saw
And-
him miss an attack in that space. Go ahead and make opposed strength checks. Equitus, do you want to move?
I do.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out the quickest way I can.
Which way is that?
I don't know what's the layout of the room that we're in. Whatever the quickest.
Okay, do slash W space GM. Or you might be able to slash GM, not sure. And whisper me what you do.
Okay.
Can
Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage. Krim and Akiri make a strength roll with disadvantage.
Okay, is this to move away from getting hit by, like, what's the strength for? Just because I'm
Are
curious.
you trying to grab him?
I'm trying to
Actually, make a
inflict
dex.
wounds
Make a
him.
dex roll. Oh, inflict wounds.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's different. Then you should have said that you cast that spell. So go ahead and cast that spell. Click it. Make a melee spell attack. Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a 10. You reach out, dark energy, evil energy crackling through your fingers. You don't touch anything. You're just grabbing air. Breath, what are you doing? Crazy action is happening.
I'm gonna try and get out the window still. Equitus is gone, and I still want to do a murder.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper you something, Breath.
Can I yell for someone to grab a rope to tie him up?
I think
You can yell that, yes?
Can I cast Fairy Fire in this chaos?
Breath, make a strength check, because I think Mavra still has hold of you, isn't that right? Krim, you can only cast Magic Missile on something you can see. And you can't see Equitus.
Someone get a rope.
Can I cast Fairy Fire?
Fairy fire.
Yes, you can.
And Breath is not going anywhere. Breath is still firmly within. Well, I don't know. Roll an opposing strength check. Maybe you'll get a natural one.
Attacks have advantage with Fairy Fire.
It could happen.
I already have
Nope.
rope. Okay, so yeah, Yara's going to move over to pull out his own rope and tie up. Since Breath is the only one we can see at this point, is going to help tie up Breath.
Actually, yeah. Cordy, could you
I'm just
make...
gonna complain really loudly about.
Cordy, could
wanting
you
to
make
do
a
a
straight
murder.
dex check for me? Oh, right. Thank you. Okay, are you hitting the whole room with Fairy Fire? It's like 20-foot radius, right?
It's a 20-foot cube.
Oh, okay, 20-foot cube. So you could hit most of the room. Where do you want to hit most of it? Do you want to... The door and the window are on opposite sides of the room. Do you want to hit the door or the window?
Are there with the people that are standing in the room, is everyone just kind of like spread all around, or are more people by
Yeah,
the
half of the
window, or
people are by the
door?
door where people were trying to push through before. Bref and Mavra are... Bref, I think, just pulled out of Mavra's grip, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, failed to pull out of Mavra's grip.
Yeah, she continues to beat my strength.
Wow, the Dowdy Dwarf is gripping the Barbarian.
Is Yar using a rope?
So,
Okay.
door or window?
Door.
Okay. The room is almost full of this sparkling fairy fire, covering everything. You see all of your friends lit up like a rainbow. You don't see Equitas.
I'm still tying up Breath.
Okay.
He's on the other side of the room.
Okay, so, Bref, you're being restrained by Mavra. Meanwhile, this Tortle is coming over and trying to tie you up. You're feeling intense pain in your hand. You've got to get out of here.
I don't like this. I'm gonna try and bust out. I gotta get out.
All right, another opposed strength rolls. Oh my god. A natural 20. Do we have a theme song for Mavra?
No, not yet.
Alright, a natural 20 has been rolled. That actually counts. You are holding him down, Bref, you feel the rope as the Tortle Yar wraps you up in it.
Not there. Guys, I just want to go do a murder so my hand doesn't hurt.
It's okay, Bref. I'm sorry.
All right, Cordy, drug him.
Hey, there's not many places the other could have gone in this room. Someone look around and see if find him. It's not like it's a big room.
Akiri's gonna guard the door.
He's on the other side. If he's not in the fairy fire, he's in the area.
Just in case.
Like, he would have to cross the fairy fire, but he would light up, I think, if he walks into it.
Is Breath sufficiently tied up?
He is all wrapped up in the rope that Yar was carrying.
Can I go on the other side of the room and try to feel around?
Yeah. You reach around, make an investigation roll.
See, I can't compete against rolls like this.
You look around carefully. The window was thrown open by Bref before any of you could do anything. The window's wide open. There's no sign of Equitas. The tiefling seems to be gone.
Do you know the target that they're going after?
I do, and unfortunately, I think he knows where it is.
Bref, you're feeling this tingling pain in your palm, and through your whole body, your veins pulsating with its energy. You have got to bust these ropes and get out of here.
Guys, we need to drug him quick.
I'm gonna flex. I'm gonna flex so hard.
I guess make a strength check.
Not that hard, apparently.
So you see him go, "Ugh!" But it's not stretching the ropes at all just yet. But you know Bruff is quite strong.
Oh, jeez, Louise. You know what? I'm going to rage and try again.
His veins start pumping. Now he's going to get advantage on his strength rolls. Anger. You guys have rarely seen Bref truly angry, and I think this might be one of those times. Dropping the blind act. So yes, Crib has been kind of pretending to be blind around about town. We need to go to physical now. Someone needs to stay with Bref, says Krim.
I think the Curie's the fastest.
I think Bref just broke the ropes. Snap! He stands up, the veins popping out in his neck, face, and biceps. You can hear your own heartbeat in your ears, and nothing else. You feel tugged forward by the sigil on your palm.
Since I'm near the window, I shut the window.
Okay, you shut the window. Krim, 3 missiles fire from her fingers at her former friend.
Can I
I'm gonna jump through the window.
It is closed now.
I know.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength roll. You're gonna take 12 damage. Bam, bam, bam! As the 3 purple fireworks explode on you.
Oh, poor Bref.
Bref runs up to the window. And slams his head into it. Bam! Take 1 damage.
Yar's going to attack Bref. And this is very important. Is there anyone within 5 feet of Yar other than Bref?
Probably.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people.
Okay, just
You're all
checking.
crowded around in this room. And covered in glowy sparkles if Cordy's still concentrating on that spell.
Oh wait, do I get advantage because of the fairy fire?
Yes, you do. You all have advantage to attack each other.
Then I'm
Well,
rolling
I guess
some,
you can make a save. Actually, you would have gotten a dexterity saving throw. Bref. You want to just make one Bref real quick?
Was it a dex save?
I think that's a fail. So
yeah,
you are
almost certain. Me fail tonight?
Then I'm going to roll me some. I'm going to roll me some sneak damage.
Okay, sneak attack. Go for it. You're gonna stab this raging barbarian in the back.
I'm bludgeoning. I'm hitting him with the back of my thing.
Oh, hitting
That's
him
just wrong. That's just
hitting him in the back.
Actually, wait. Sneak attack. I think I get 2d6. My bad.
Yeah, that didn't look right. That didn't look like nearly enough dice.
Okay, 6 damage so far. Okay, 11 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 5, as you are raging, bam, to the back of the back. Bref, they're attacking you. Your friends are attacking you.
Just turn around and I'm gonna once again try and smash through the window.
Make sure you guys are reading chat because Haley's talking
I want to
through chat.
cast Hold Person on Bref.
Okay. Make a save, Bref. Can you click the spell, please? Okay. Make a wisdom save. The raging barbarian freezes in place because he's so good at rolling dice and just can't move a muscle. But in a second, he'll get another saving throw.
I can only hold it for a minute, so I need someone to give him the drugs if we want to drug him.
Yar like takes the drugs and smooshes it in his face.
Bref, make a Constitution saving throw. As you are force fed, you taste mushrooms. It's very icky, and your body just, even though you're paralyzed, you just kind of automatically reject it. How many doses was that?
Early ad. I don't know if I can actually talk when I'm paralyzed, but
So Akiri,
Not really, but I'll allow it.
I'll say that he only grabbed one. So
Okay. I thought you said
I
two
guess
for some reason.
I
Okay.
can. Oh, I might have done both. I might have grabbed both of them, and I don't remember what I said.
I think he just said he's gonna grab the
I know
drugs.
Equitas originally said 2.
So okay, we'll say I grabbed one. So there would be one left, right? Because you had 4.
Yeah. Does Equitas still have the drugs, or did he give them back to me?
Oh yeah, so
He
Akiri,
couldn't grab them. He couldn't take them.
Yeah.
So we have more. I'll take another dose if it's on hand and just shove it in his face again.
Okay. Yes, another wisdom saving throw from Breath. Thank you. I think that fails.
probably
14.
14. Okay, yep.
Okay. So barely. He's straining. Every muscle is standing out in his body. Make another Constitution saving throw as another dose is applied to your face of the powerful hallucinogens. This time, you feel this heady rush kind of going through your body. And you feel really weird. And
While he's
see,
incapacitated.
you see a tiny man, a tiny version of you, dancing, naked, on the Tortle's head as he stands looking up at you. A tiny naked version of yourself, kind of spinning around.
While this is going on, I'm gonna take Krim's rope and tie him up again.
He is still paralyzed, but getting loopier by the minute.
Tying him up anyway.
Okay. So you're tied up, Ref. And tripping.
Okay, so while this is all happening, Krim and I are gonna go take off after Equitas.
You guys open up the door and just leave the tavern.
Yeah, but first Akiri's gonna go up to what's the elf's name again? Sorry, I keep forgetting it.
Drogo.
Like the guy who's in charge. Drago? She's gonna go up to him and be like, hey, so and I keep forgetting the name of the place too. Where's the Roadheart General Store?
Oh, the Roadheart General Store. Yes, your golden scale friend might benefit from the aid she might find there. That is just across the way. It's a large building. Can't miss it. Walk up the path. You'll pass by. It's directly across the square. Pass by Boil and Bubble Potions. Past Imagine Knit. My favorite House of Haggis clothing. And you'll come to it. It has a sign with a heart and a kind of a twisting path out front.
Awesome, thanks. And then she's gonna take off out the door and then get up into the air and then she's gonna fly to it. Just
Be
for
sure
the
and
extra
donate
speed
generously.
boost. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, she's booking it in the direction he said.
After my paralyzation wears off, I'm gonna lock eyes with Mavra, and I'm gonna say, Mavra.
Her eyes, as you lock eyes with her, are growing larger and larger in her dwarven head. And she starts growing a beard as well.
So important. I'm speaking to you with my mind right now. I'm not using my mouth. It's my mind.
Okay, but what are you saying?
It's daytime, Paul. So you guys are running out. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. As you guys, Akiri and Krim exit the tavern, looking around. Krim, go ahead and make a perception roll. The rest of you are kind of talking to Breath, who is spouting crazy weirdness. Breath, that tickling pain of a hook in your hand is fading. You are realizing that you are not really fit to fight right now anyway. So maybe it would be best to just enjoy the show. But that's up to you. I'm just saying the pain.
Yeah, I don't think I can really understand anything that's going on right now, so Breath is chilled out.
I think some of us ought to go to the library and see if we can find something to remove this here curse.
Right. Okay. I'll head to the library. Akiri and Krim are going to make sure that Equitus doesn't, do the murder, and somebody stay here to guard.
I'll
Breath.
stay with Breath.
I think I ought to stay here too.
Okay. Move, everybody. Move yourselves to where you're going, please. Krim, you should be in the middle of the town square. Equitus, just move yourself into the town square as well. Oh, Krim, you're heading to, like, the market square? No, that's not it. Yeah, you're in the right place now. Akiri is flying swiftly to the Roadheart General Store. Alright. The rest of you are kind of dealing with calming down the whole situation in the tavern, I guess. Definitely watching over Breath, who is beads of sweat are running down his face and getting soaked up by the rope. I should have gotten more water during the break. Okay. Alright. Does everybody move themselves? Bella's heading for the library, I see. Okay. Alright. Equitas. Equitas. As you walk through the town, no one looking at you. You have this feeling of a strange kind of safety. The people who were preventing you from doing what you wanted to do, they can't find you now. Nobody's giving you strange looks for being what you are, a tiefling, descendant of fiends, and marked by your power as a warlock. As you walk, you can't help but glance down and notice more chunks of bread leading in a line to the east, leading you back. The tug of your sigil is strangely lessened. You still feel it, but it's somehow muted, like a muffled sound. What are you doing, Ekatos? Can't hear you. Oh man. Oh man. Nope, can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Oh, now I hear you.
Okay, cool. I want to go to the place that I said I was going to.
Okay. You had... Are you trying to tell me you want to keep this secret?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. If that's possible.
All right. Good night, everybody. Would you all please log out of Discord?
What the fuck?
As Aquitas makes his way over to the abandoned cabin.
Ah! Okay,
Wow.
fine.
So you do want us to log out?
Log out of Discord at least, so you can't hear what we're saying. Thank you all very much for playing. You guys are awesome.
That was so much fun.
You make your way back. And in that chamber, in the abandoned cabin, you step inside. And once again, the shadows envelop you, wrap you around like a blanket. You feel protected, safe. Now there's one thing that's different here in this abandoned cabin with its dark shadows, shafts of light, and piles of wood all around. There's a strikingly beautiful human woman sitting in the middle of the cabin on the space that was cleared out, sitting on a piece of wood.
I'm gonna walk up to her.
She looks up at you. Something strange about her. For a moment, you can't determine the source. She's holding a hunk of bread, out of which there are several chunks missing. And then you realize what's strange. Her eyes are all black, like two windows into an endless void.
Whoa.
The burning gash to kill Marias Fitchywell is at an ebb, the magic powered down. You feel as though it's not currently affecting you.
Huh.
You very strongly smell the musty smell of the cabin on the shore of Deep Lurk Lake. And this woman sitting upon the makeshift chair of an old board. In the dim light, the shadows cast by the tumble-down shingles of the roof. She just stares at you with those black-on-black eyes.
Did this, and I'm going to hold out the palm of my hand and show with the guest showing. Say, did this come from you?
She shakes her head slowly. Finally, she speaks, and the voice that emerges is not that of a human woman.
Equitas, you should know better than that. Dost thou know who I am, Equitas? Dost thou know to whom thou speakst?
Oh. It's you. Are you the shadow?
I am thy father, thy master, thy king.
Oh.
It is good to see you developing thy powers. Do not think I have not noticed thee, Equitas. Do not think that the shadow has turned away from thee. I hear the disappointment in thy voice. But you should feel quite the opposite, my son.
Well, it's been a long time, Father, and the last time we saw each other, we didn't leave on very good terms, and I don't know what you want. If there's something that you want, I'd like for you just to get to the point.
Have I not granted thee these powers, these magics, as thou hast bound thyself to me?
Yeah, yes, it's been nice having this magic on my side. It has.
What a woeful night it would be were I not to reward thy service.
I lost you there. You cut out during part of that.
What a woe-filled night it would be were I not to reward thy service.
What kind of a reward are you talking about? I'm not doing anything to get rewarded by you. But if you have something for me, I'm not going to refuse it. Because you owe me. That's the way I see it.
I know thou dost not approve of some of the ways in which thy fellow acolytes attempt to serve me. That is all right. I like you, Equitas. If I did not, it would be easy to use this body to rip thee apart to send thy stained soul to a forgotten pit of the Shadowfell. But I do not currently wish to do that, Equitas.
Well, I appreciate that. I know you're powerful.
Thou dost do well to remember it.
I will definitely remember how powerful you are.
Equitas. How many lords, how many kings, how many gods would approach you in this way?
You're the only one. And I don't know why. I don't know how much I really care, but as long as you continue giving me what you're giving me, I'm okay with it for now.
Of course. So, thou seest our arrangement as final. Thou dost not wish for any further gifts or relationship.
Well, I'm not saying that. What is my end of this? What do you see as me fulfilling my end of this relationship?
Why, I only wish to hear thee pledge thy friendship and loyalty to me, thy master, thy father, thy king. As thou hast grown stronger, I doth dearly wish for us to become closer, my son. I ask only for thy loyalty, and I shall grant thee a greater token of my power, a seal of fire and shadow.
And I have and for that I would have to. Yeah, no. I don't want it.
I shall also rid thee of thy foul curse. Its dwarven sigil magic is no match for that of the shadow.
Will you also rid my friend Breath?
The human you travel with.
Yeah, the other one that is afflicted with the same curse. I'll follow you. If you rid me and Breath of the curse right now.
Bring him here. To this place sacred unto me. And I shall.
Okay. Alright.
Thou canst be free of this curse.
Okay. I'll bring him here. If you'll rid me and Breath of this curse, I'll bring him here and we'll have our arrangement. But I want that seal also.
The seal of fire and shadow is your birthright, my son.
Well, then good. Believe me, I'll put it to good use. I've grown quite powerful.
I do believe.
But yeah, I'll get breath, and if you rid us of this curse, I'll do whatever you say. I'll follow you.
Take then thy blade, and prick thyself.
Oh crap!
I doth require but a drop to seal thy pledge.
I won't do it until Breath and I are rid of the curse of the Gesh.
Thou shouldst trust me, my son.
I do not trust
That
you.
is vulgar and insulting.
Well, time out in the world, adventuring is maybe a little bit more vulgar and insulting. But I'm not going to do this until you've fulfilled your part of the bargain.
It is already done. Look upon thy palm.
Is it there?
It's gone.
Oh man, again, I want to find out if Breaths is gone. Okay. Did you do the same to my friend Breaths?
As I said, thou must bring him to a place consecrated unto me and my power.
Okay. Oh man. So would that be? Do you want me to bring him back here?
Here or any place dedicated to the shadow.
I understand. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take out my dagger and cut the palm of my hand, of my left hand, with it.
The blood drips down, falling, hitting the floor, where it raises little puffs of dust. The woman who's been speaking with this strange voice reaches out and allows some drops of the blood to fall upon her palm. Her hand, small, delicate, feminine, squeezes tight. The shadows seem to grow thick and close all around. When you open your hand, when she opens her hand rather, the droplets of blood are gone. The blood starts to coagulate in your shallow cut, but it's still dripping down. An open wound and reminder. And you feel a power entering you. The shadows in the corner. Oh. No, they're all quiet because we're having a private moment here.
Sorry about that.
The blood drips down. You feel the shadows in the corners of the room begin to flow and twist through the air like living things. And they begin to burrow into your body. And you feel this power wherever they touch, flowing into your veins. and you gain the Seal of Fire and Shadow, which I would like to explain to everyone how the Seals of Power work. But,
I'm sorry, man.
I'll do that another time.
I didn't realize I didn't realize what was happening, or I wouldn't have said that.
It's okay. It's okay.
It is done. Thank you, my son. I shall watch thy movements with great interest.
Well, thank you for getting rid of this curse, but
You are welcome.
don't forget you owe me Bref's curse also. We're not done.
When have I ever deceived you in a bargain?
Yeah, well.
Thou shouldst remember me better in future. So, you will dream of the old place. Do not be deceived by your dream. It is not I. It is you. It is thee.
I will keep that in mind.
Farewell for now, Equitas.
Goodbye, Father.
The woman blinks, shakes her head to clear it, and looks up. Her eyes are clear. She smiles, looks around. Oh, I'm here. She looks at you. Oh, you must be... Do you worship him too?
Yeah, I guess you could say so.
Oh, what is he like?
I don't know. I've never met him.
What? She runs up to you and tries to hug you.
I step back and put my arms out and say,
The stunningly beautiful woman looks sad.
Oh, man.
She's very tall, with long, slender legs.
No, I'm not going to take advantage of
wearing
this.
Dark clothing.
Yeah. Equitas is not going to take advantage of this. He's going to put his hands out and just turn around and walk out.
She says, but I want to talk to you. I want to know what he said through me.
I'm not even there anymore.
She's calling out from the abandoned cabin, and she runs after you. Wait!
Do I have anything I guessed? Yeah, no. I'm gone.
She
I don't know where I'm
pauses
going yet.
as you get close to the Arkangard station. She says, please, come and find me. I made this place. I blessed it. Rosalind Thackeray. Please. But you're gone. And with that, we will conclude tonight's session.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was everybody leave. I apologize. Tell everybody to
okay.
watch this later.
You tell them.
I will.
I'll tell them I don't care. You can tell them I don't care.
Yeah.
I will see you folks later. Thank you all for watching. Have a good evening. I thank you to...
This was so awesome. This was the best one yet. This was so awesome.
Thank you to all my wonderful players who had lots of patience to deal with everything tonight, and all played wonderfully. Thank you to Taladar, Cyvius, people who kind of popped in to say hello. You are awesome. Oh, I'm glad it was fun to watch Rybane. Excellent. Thank you. And have a good evening, or early morning as it is now here. And sweet dreams. Bye-bye.
Good night.